The first lesson in this course is eliminating excessive words in your writing. One of the key methods to make legal writing more effective is by omitting needless words. Excessive words often devalue the message and frustrate the reader. There's a growing trend toward plain language in legal documents, as clear and concise writing helps communicate the message without any ambiguity. In this lesson, we will learn various techniques to avoid pompous and over elaborate writing. As the legal domain is critical for the public, lawyers should convey more in less words. Unfortunately, legal writing tends to be full of clutter, no matter how eminent the writer. Richard Whitehead, author of Plain English for Lawyers and a prominent advocate of the Plain English movement, says that a sentence in an English language has two types of words: working words and glue words. Working words are the words that carry the meaning of the sentence and convey the facts and information. Glue words are the words that join the other words to give a form, structure, and shape to a sentence. For example, the, of, by, under. When you find too many glue words, consider it as a sign of bad sentence construction. Take it apart and reshape the pieces to fit tighter and cleaner. While working words show the action, the glue words show the connection. Let's consider this example. An application under section 482 of CRPC was filed by the petitioner for quashing the FIR. Total 16 words. In this, we can look at some of the working words. Application, section 482, CRPC, filed, petitioner, quashing, FIR. These are the working words that provides meaning to the sentence. And the glue words are and, under, was, by, the, for. Now let's revise this sentence by eliminating excessive words. Petitioner filed an application under section 482 CRPC for quashing the FIR. Now the revised sentence has only 12 words. In this, the working words include application, section 482, CRPC, petitioner, quashing, FIR. We have retained all the working words, but we have reduced the glue words from 6 to 3. Ideally, a sentence should convey a single idea. It is sometimes said that at its simplest, a sentence should include a subject, an object, and a verb. Let's see this example. The advocate went into the court hall. The advocate is the subject, went is the verb, into the court hall. The court hall is the object. There are 5 techniques to remove the excessive words from a sentence. Number 1, identify how the sentence has been constructed. When you find too many glue words, that is a clear sign that the sentence is poorly constructed. I will show you an example shortly. The second technique is replace compound prepositions to its simpler alternative. Prepositions tend to add a lot of clutter, and having its alternative word would simplify the sentence, would make the sentence much shorter. Third technique is to cut out word clusters. And fourth, wherever you find clauses, reduce the same to a phrase. And the fifth technique is avoid using redundant legal phrases. Now let's see examples for each of these techniques. The first technique, we need to identify the poor sentence construction. By spotting too many glue words and replacing with its simpler alternative. By reducing the number of glue words, we can strengthen and tighten the sentence. For example, the ruling by the trial judge. Now there are many glue words. So the alternative would be trial judge's ruling. If you see the example, all the 3 words are working words. So we eliminated three glue words. Make the sentence shorter and clearer. Now let's look at the second technique. Wherever we find compound prepositions, we need to see how that can be removed and replaced with its simpler alternative. For example, at that point in time, which essentially means then. When we want to write about in accordance with, a simpler alternative is by. A lot of times we write in order to. A simpler alternative would be to. Another example would be for the reason that. Again, a simpler alternative without compound preposition would be because. Let's understand what words add as a cluster. The fact that she had died. In a simpler alternative, we could say her death. Another example would be because of the fact that. A simple because would suffice. Now let's look at the fourth technique. Reduces clauses to phrase. Reduce the words which, who, that indicates an opportunity to reduce a clause to a suitable phrase. Let's see an example now. Who had been convicted of having committed a felony. A simple phrase would be a convicted felon. Now let's look at the fifth technique. This is something you may find it more frequently in our legal documents. For example, the word null and void. You could use either null or the word void. There's no need to use both null and void. Another example could be cease and desist. Both the word indicates the same meaning. So when we trace it back to the history, this has been used to accommodate people from two different regions, and people use different languages. For example, French and English. Earlier it used to be a language between Celts and Anglo-Saxon, and now it is French and English. But the idea is to stick to either one of the word. So we looked into 5 techniques on how to cut out needless and excessive words from your writing. Now let's put the learning into action. The petitioners sought the issuance of an appropriate writ or direction directing respondents to immediately restore all modes of communication, including mobile internet landline services, throughout Jammu and Kashmir in order to provide an enabling environment for the media to practice its profession. At a first glance, there is too many words, ambiguous words, which makes the sentence little hard to grasp the exact meaning that is intended to convey. So now let's try and attempt to rewrite the sentence. So we have 44 words in this original sentence, and let us try. The petitioners seek an appropriate writ or direction, because when you have petitioner you have respondents, and you can seek a writ or direction from the honorable court. So this information which was hidden in the previous example, so we make it explicit. The petitioners seek an appropriate writ or direction from this honorable court to immediately restore communications, that inclusive of all communications, throughout Jammu and Kashmir, so that the media can function. So we are able to keep the essence of the message, and still we get a clear sentence. So revised sentence looks like this. The petitioners seek an appropriate writ or direction from this honorable court to immediately restore communications throughout Jammu and Kashmir so that the media can function. So we have from 44 words, we have reduced to 26 words, yet retaining the meaning that is intended to convey. Let us look at example number 4. This is quite an interesting example. And this example is, there are many such examples are given in the book Plain English Lawyers by Richard Wydick. And also there's another interesting book by Brian A. Garner, Plain English Legal Writing. I had a dog. Its name was Rough. It was a gentle dog. It was a small dog. The cat ate it. I miss Rough. So we have 25 words here, and we highlight the working words. Dog, rough, gentle, small, cat ate it, I miss. So we have a lot of repetition. So we need to see how we could remove the repetition and make it a more coherent and clear sentence. So we have I miss my gentle and small dog, Rough. The cat ate it. Again, we used all the working words and rephrase the sentence to give a much clearer meaning. So from 25 words, it has become 12 words. Now, example number 5. In the event that, this is again a compound proposition, in the event that the director objects to the filing of the complaint, the director, in his discretion, may file a responsive pleading subsequent to the filing. Okay, so we have 27 words, and let us attempt to rewrite the same. In the event that, so one of the technique of avoiding compound prepositions, that is in the event that, we can use an alternative word if the director objects, not really about the filing, about the complaint. If the director objects to the complaint, the director may file a responsive pleading. There's no need for subsequent to the filing. So we get the final sentence as if the director objects to the complaint, the director may file a responsive pleading. So from 27 words, we again brought down to 14 words. And